about David or D4VD. A couple of weeks ago, is David? It's pronounced David.
I know,
Um,
but the way you do it, because
it's
it's
not
not.
just a regular David.
Yeah.
When I think David, I think Um, so apparently, this man who had a girl in his trunk dismembered. She was an underage girl, and that's the other crazy. I mean, I'm just all over the place right now, but like he's not listed as a suspect in her murder. Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, I've seen some
I was
streams.
looking confused.
No, I've seen the streams about this on TikTok and things of that nature. I haven't dove
Yeah.
fully into it. The
So here
reason
we
why I
are.
was making that face because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So despite him having a young girl in having the 15, she was 14 when she died, turned 15.
Hmm.
Despite him having a young girl, having her chopped up in his car, despite him having written songs about her and written songs about her dying, he's not a suspect in her murder. And so I want to know why. So I want to know why he hasn't been arrested,
To
why he's
to to quote
yeah,
his lawyer, it
yeah,
it, it has to be.
yeah,
It's all circumstantial. I'm sorry, I'm paraphrasing, but
My work is easy because I use
yeah.
ClickUp.
that's what it's
Here,
got to be.
Yeah, I wanna know why, because this kind of crazy.
Into the actual news and the meat and potatoes, I just want to announce that I officially have my own podcast on Spotify by the name
Hey,
of Maury in the Morning and
we
Night.
don't care about your podcast. We ain't promoting you on the podcast, but appreciate the information.
It's a good joke.
And who don't care for much about, actually watching the video, but just listening to what I have to say about a particular news story every
Right.
month, because I'm going to be trying to, tweak how I create content a bit to cater to people, who are running errands, doing chores.
man.
David has not been named as a murder suspect in Celeste Rivas' case. Police confirm any new statement. This was reported by Daily Loud, Drama Alert, Say Cheese, Rap House, E! News, BET, and many other media outlets in regards to the latest updates surrounding this case. Now, one thing I do want to make abundantly clear is that just because he has not been yet named as a suspect in this case does not mean that the police, law enforcement, FBI is not watching him as a potential suspect. So to make things abundantly clear, I'm pretty sure police and detectives on this case are sitting on a boatload of evidence of which they're probably going to use to prosecute David. Of course, people are upset and angry about this. They're questioning why he has not been locked up already, as if police officers nationwide haven't arrested people for much, much less. Of course, David being in a privileged position, regardless of where you believe that privilege is coming from, is the reason for why he has not been behind bars yet, obviously. But of course, when you're dealing with someone, this rich, this powerful, with this many connections, not saying like the guy's like the Joker or anything, but he's rich so he can afford to hire the best lawyers. And that is exactly what he's done, as according to independent.com, independent media outlet, they say David hires Harvey Weinstein lawyer as police investigate how teenager's body came to be found in his Tesla. And if we all know who Harvey Weinstein is, media Hollywood mogul who got outed in the Me Too era, and actually I'm not entirely sure if he's still in prison or not. I believe he went to prison, I'm not sure if he's out yet, but that's a little background on the type of lawyer he just hired to defend him in this case. And as you can see here from ABC News, they say in their article that teen's cause of death still undetermined after body found in David's Tesla, death certificate reveals. And the latest news I heard was that the two
Well, they were saying as of most recently, I heard that it was more than likely a drug overdose. But I'm like,
But why is your body chopped up?
exactly.
What are you saying?
I'm like, okay.
If you're saying that she's dismembered, because I didn't know about that part either.
Right.
So you saying that she's dismembered? She had a drug overdose. She cut herself before?
Right.
Before that?
I
Yeah,
chopped
man, it
myself
could have
up.
been done posthumously to destroy like evidence tampering. So like that's
No,
another
yes.
charge.
No, yeah, for sure. But yes, we all are on the same page. So she might, but somebody chopped you up and put you in that car is what we saying. You know what I'm saying? That don't explain everything else. It explains the cause of death. It don't explain the hiding of your body and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they might still be looking at him as a suspect, but they
They
just
most certainly have to.
right.
I think this is what I said to y'all the other day. I think that man is so guilty that like you so guilty we not about to lock you up until we feel like it.
Yeah, we just making it airtight.
But what kind
at
of
this
sense
point.
does that make? Why would you keep a person
So
out
so
if
so
he
we
is
can
the killer?
That you can
right.
remove them
Somebody
without
else?
them having the option to get back out.
Oh, they're building a case.
They're building a case so that freedom is not an option for you.
Mm.
Yeah, we're gonna bring you up at the very last moment that we possibly need to. And so we can hook, line, and sink you. So it's like, look, Judge, no bail for this man. All of this type of stuff. We got all of this evidence against this man. We gonna make him feel comfortable. And again, like he got the best lawyers, even though Harvey Weinstein ain't win his case. But you know what I mean, or case is.
Again, just overwhelming evidence against your defendant. So you just
Yeah, I need the
batting a
best lawyer
thousand.
possible. For why
For
this
the
girl
same
was in my
thing,
trunk.
for the
And why
trafficking,
Exactly.
I need the same type of person. I need the same. Yeah, I gotta get that lawyer.
And why you ain't come to the police?
Yeah, man. If it's all cool, how come you didn't know somebody was in your whip? It would stink.
So that was the thing, right? They were saying that originally when they put it in the wherever it was, it didn't smell initially.
So it was just parked somewhere randomly until
Until it got really bad. The stench got really bad, and so they called people out there to find out what it was. Like it smells because you can smell death. You know, like it smells
has
like
a
something is
distinct
dead.
smell
Yes.
in and of itself, and it only gets worse when all those gases get released.
Yeah. So I can't imagine how it smelled when they open that bad boy up. That's crazy. Sheesh. And so, it just sounds like he's 21. It sounds like a 21-year-old crime. Like not thinking it all the way through.
Mm.
Not saying that.
They were
Definitely not saying he should have done it. I'm just saying
No.
it just sounds crazy.
Nah, but like especially with like if the toxicology report points to drug overdose, like they were out having fun. She got super high because she shouldn't have been taking drugs in the first place,
Right.
and then he freaked out, and then he started trying to find a place to stow everything, and then gave up halfway through, and was like, "I'm just gonna park the car," and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. It's also funny that he knew two Celestes. So this man was probably so deep into his foolishness that he probably dated two girls named Celeste, one who was of age and one who wasn't, to cover up dating the one who was underage.
I wouldn't talk about her.
Yeah, there's a Celeste Rivas she got another last name, but Celeste Rivas last name redacted. But then there was a Celeste Herrera that they're also linking him to. But your music has incriminated you so much. You was like, oh, I don't care about the police because I break the law every day.
What?
Yeah, by being with the girl. That's why.
I'm a 21-year-old career criminal. I don't care.
21-year-old criminal.
Two possible ways of death she could have died, right, was either by overdose, drug overdose, or strangulation. That is the likely probable scenarios that a lot of internet sleuths, detectives, and people online suspect to be the case.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by
Yeah. So, why is this man still at large?
Only that she was not pregnant. The cause of death listed as deferred as the coroner and detectives work to figure out how the 15-year-old's decomposing body ended up in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to singer David.
In order for there to be a prosecution, law enforcement has to find some key pieces of information when it comes to a potential homicide. First, they actually need to figure out if it's a homicide or not, and the autopsy report will help give them that. Then they have to figure out the who and the how in order to bring charges.
So as we just heard, her death certificate pretty much has her cause of death as deferred, which pretty much means they cannot rule out a specific cause of death. And it does indicate that she was not pregnant, as the newscaster said. So obviously, with a little common sense here, we can all assume that detectives,
Okay,
they've seen everything we've seen. They've seen all the...
What you say, Jeff?
If they're trying to lock down the specific reason that they're dead, they can't. It doesn't make sense to put charges on there, because then it's easily combated. You know what I mean? So this is one of those things where they're building an airtight case. So him not being announced as a suspect doesn't mean he's not being investigated. They just want to make sure that they have the correct cause of death so that they can tell the right story. Makes sense. Like knowing that makes it way more like, oh, okay, I get it.
What's that song? Did it right? What's that? How does that go? I'm getting closer to the song that we talked about at the beginning. Yeah.
Man.
reports, the documents, the videos, the audio, the Discord logs, the TikTok posts, the pictures with Celeste. They know that was his girlfriend. They know that he was with her. They know that he was likely keeping her in his house and that she likely died in his house. Something went very wrong there. I don't know what specifically happened, but we are assuming that there are many different possibilities. Maybe she tried to leave. Maybe she didn't want to stay with him anymore. Maybe she got pregnant. Maybe he didn't want the world to find out. Maybe she wanted to go public and he had to keep it all under wraps, right? This is going to be a very long case. Cases like this sometimes even take years and years to figure out what's really happened, right? So with that said, although I know a lot of people are angry and mad and upset, David is not yet listed as a suspect in this case, although behind the scenes he may be a potential suspect. It's going to be very hard to likely pin this murder on him since the body's decomposition or state of decomposition prior to it being found in that Tesla was very severe to the point where people initially thought it was chopped up through the verbiage of dismembered, but to state this again again, the body was not likely chopped up by David. It was just naturally dismembered or falling apart due to the natural decomposition of the human body, or any corpse for that matter, in the heat in a tightly compact space like the front of a Tesla trunk in the raging heat in a California environment in the middle of the summer. I mean, good God. I'm hearing reports that she may have been dead for at least 4 weeks before being discovered in that Tesla. Also, according to E! News, they say David's manager speaks out amid Celeste Rivas Hernandez death investigation. However, the manager, by the name of John Marshall, he came out and said, and I quote, "This has been a tough time for my family as I am a father of 3 children." He said, and I quote, "Also, I work remotely 95% of the time, and my job doesn't require me to have much interaction with any of my clients / David, as there are many others that work with him on a day-to-day capacity. Not me. This news is tragic for so many, and for her family, I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon." The article also goes on to say, in addition to noting, and I quote, "A lot of this is speculation and alleged." Marshall concluded with, and I quote, "In the meantime, I'm with my family helping them emotionally get through the news of this tragedy." E! News has reached out to Marshall for comment, but has not yet heard back. I'd also like to note that his manager goes by the name of J Mogul on Instagram. His bio says music exec, manager, father and house husband, mogul vision, play chess and not checkers, right? Generic shit. But clearly this guy's page is not private, and he does not want to be associated with this whatsoever, although David, I believe, was his top creator, his top artist, the moneymaker for this guy. So hey, obviously now he's trying to distance himself. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's update on that case. Also, guys, remember to go follow the podcast page.
All right. Yeah, so
his manager like, nah, not me. I don't even talk to them like that. Nah, and even in the meantime, I'm just trying to console my family. Like, okay, so do you know this young lady?
Right.
Why would you say about this tragedy?
He's the manager. He knows every dirty secret that's there.
You know, that's
Help
what I'm
them
saying.
cover it up, probably.
Yeah, why are you saying it like that? That's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing here, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers plan to appeal as convicted hip hop star faces more years behind bars. Good. Y'all should appeal based on what we talked about. Should you be behind bars? Yes. Do you need? Yes. But the way that judge was talking, y'all, the way he was talking, he barely brought up the Mann Act. He barely brought up, I don't even think he brought up the prostitution. He was focused more on the abuse.
I think because they throw out the RICO charges, he didn't want to keep bringing it up. That might have been like a.
What you mean? No, Jeff. That's what he was convicted on, brother.
Oh.
Talk about what you was convicted on.
Oh.
He brought up what he wasn't convicted on. So, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer. In my opinion, and I'm not a judge, but in my opinion, I feel like all they would have to do is say, look, the judge told on himself.
Oh yeah, he's being biased. And
yeah. He was just he's imprisoning him for some other stuff that he wasn't even on trial for.
Right.
Again, that circles back to
and I'm gonna add this to you. I didn't like the way you smirked in here. I'm gonna give you another 6 months.
And they do that. They do that.
Petty.
Yeah. They do that.
You ain't never met a person like me. I'm petty. It's fine.
1990,
it was Chubb Rock.
With the lean and a pocket full of green. The green doesn't symbolize
I was just pulling Chubb Rock out the side of my neck. I didn't. I'm like, Chubb Rock or somebody. It was him.
But RoboCop last year was a shock. The tone of the Popeye cut shook.
Yeah. Okay. Last one, we'll get out of here. See y'all on the next vid.
Wow.
Coming right at you.